Welcome, YouTubers. What I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to give you some helpful hints, tips on using MS Paint, Microsoft Paint. Anytime you have it open and you need to change the photo or get a photo, and you know the first letter of it, in my case it's going to be Q, you just click in the area on one of them, any file, doesn't even matter, it could be a folder, hit Q, and I know which one I'm going for. Oh. Okay. Change, nope. Alright. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to learn about lettering, putting letters in the photo. Now there's two ways of doing this. One way, and also make sure that your toolbar shows. Just do that by going View and Toolbar, Text Toolbar, and it'll show, okay? Now I'm going to put on the bottom something very simple, Quake, and of course you got to stretch it out, otherwise it's going to go in a box. Now some of you might be confused here and wonder why the lettering is going over it, and this is what I'm about to explain. I'm down here where you can't see, and I'm changing it to yellow by touching the colors on the box on the bottom. And then I hit an outside area and Quake stays in the corner. Now, how I did that is I went over to Image, where by default, Draw Opaque is always checked, and this is what normally happens. You got to put in your lettering, put in Quake, and you have a big white box, and it looks like shit. So what most people do is they just careen off the corner here and leave the bottom area here for the lettering, and they don't know that they can put lettering on top. And that's all done by Draw Opaque and having that unchecked. Now I'm going to do another feature which I think is called stamping, and I'm going to collect an area of the robot here. I'm going to collect one of its legs. Now there's two ways of doing this. You can select it around the box on the right hand side. What that's going to do is that's going to copy an entire area as big as you box it. Copy, paste. Goes in the corner, and I'm going to paste it wherever. I'll just paste it back over where it was, okay? But the problem with that is you can see the square area around it. To get around that, as you select the star, once again, as I said, make sure to take off the opaque on this function, all right? Because this is what you're able to do. You can go all around it. I think it's called cropping, I think. Go all around it and you select it. Let go. Copy. All right, paste in the corner. Now, see the difference here? There's no square around it. There's no excess. It's only exactly what you selected, and that's what I liked about this. And normally people will buy Photoshop for this function alone, but you can do this in Microsoft Paint. And by the way, be sure to check the description, because likely I'm giving you downloads to MS Paint, because a lot of people don't like the version that came with Windows 7, and plus I have another 11 versions. Anyways, you can check them out. And I'll give him a third leg, and yes, it does not look appropriate, but I'll make him into a spider, okay? Anyways, I'm getting outside the point here. Alright, so it looks like a freak. Now, another thing is, sometimes you want to touch up something, you don't like the color, or there's like a little spot on it. Let me see if I can mimic one here. Let's put a spot right on his chest. Okay. I want to cover it up. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to use spray paint because it's going to splatter everywhere. I can use maybe, yeah, I'll use the brush. The thing is, you're going to pick the color with the eyedropper, and I'm going to take an area that's near it, which I think is right next to the chest will work. Bingo. And it goes right to the brush. And mind you, you can do this with pencils. You can do it with the paint. You can do it with the paint bucket. And I go right over the area here and fill it in. And it's done, okay? We could do the same thing as I said before with the pencil, and I'm going to prove that by going over down here next to Quake. I'll select the area. And I'll do pencil, and I'll just fill in the E here. Right. Looks pretty actually normal, besides little lines, and it's kind of tedious. We're already 5 minutes into the video here. So instead, I'm going to take the spray paint. I'm going to go over and I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to fill it right in. Okay, besides being a little sloppy, you guys get the point. Now, sometimes when you get a photo, it shows up in paint, or you want to put things on the photo, you can open up the area around it and look for these little blue dots on the left and right hand side. And you can pull them up and out if you want. Or you can even make them smaller by doing just so. Now, there isn't really much more I can show you in paint, but what I showed you is pretty much what a lot of people don't know that you can do in paint. There's a few other things, but I'm not going to get into too much of it. It's only 6 minutes. It's a little tutorial, so I was able to show you the difference between drawing a little peg on and off. I'm going to look through here, see if there's anything else. Okay, now there's other functions here. If you want to change the size of the picture or edit the colors or anything, some people like to invert the colors. They don't know how to do it. It looks like a film. You go here, Control-I, I believe that was, invert. And if you want to undo anything, Control-Z, I think you're allowed to do it up to 5 or 6 times. And another thing, you can flip and rotate it just by going up to the image, so on and so forth. You can also go here to the attributes, which allows you to change it in centimeters, pixels, and inches, black and white, and color. One of my favorite ways, because it does 100 by 100, is going to be in the, I don't want to say, I'll make sure I find it here. Right here. Because everything goes by 100%, by 100%. So I can go 90. I can do 200% by 100, just like so. You know, it looks like crap, but I'm able to do it if I need to. And that works if you want to edit something, or if you want, so you can go in and take the little details using the pencil, the spray paint, or even the eraser, and then you can reverse it by going back and undoing the numbers the way you did it. You can't do Control-Z because it's not just going to undo the size, but it will undo the changes that you made to the picture. All right, this is just going to have to conclude this part here on MS Paint tutorial. So please, by all means, subscribe. I'm sorry, I had to go back and restart the recording again. There is one little thing I forgot to do here, is to tell you how to change the file extensions. Because a lot of times, if you have a PNG, or especially a bitmap, BMP, a lot of servers and websites and other areas do not want you to use bitmaps because they're extremely huge and they don't offer great pictures whatsoever. So, what you need to do is no matter what the picture is, no matter what it is, as I said, open it, right click, open it with paint. And once you're in the paint, in this case it's already open, I'm not going to go through the spiel here, but as you can see it's a JPEG. I will, for shits and giggles, change it to a PNG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, save as. I'm going to stay with Quad 2. I'm going to look down here and I'm going to save it as PNG, and I'm done.